Rep. English.
Do we need to move it?
We did.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, I'm going to ask for a yes vote for this bill, although the portion that I really wanted in it has been removed, which is positive rent reporting as a tool for economic mobility, but that's something we can work on next session. But this legislation is rooted in a fundamental premise that should not be controversial, but too often is overlooked in practice. Housing is not simply about shelter. It is a primary determinant of financial stability, educational continuity, workforce participation, and long-term wealth development. Rent for many households across Colorado, including the families that I represent in House District 17, is their largest and most consistent financial obligation. And yet the system that governs access to housing remain largely opaque to the very people whose lives are shaped by them. That disconnect is not necessarily incidental, but structural. And this bill is designed to address it with clarity and precision. The first component of this legislation establishes transparency and tenant screening practices. Under the amended language, landlords are required to disclose in advance the categories of information they will access and the specific criteria that may result in the denial of a housing application. For the people of House District 17, where many residents are working families, renters, and individuals striving for upward mobility, this matters in very real terms. It means that a family is no longer navigating a system where decisions are made behind closed doors. It means that a young professional trying to secure their first apartment understands what standards they are being measured against. It means that a single parent is not left guessing why they were denied housing that their family depends on. From both a policy and research perspective, transparency is not an administrative burden. It is a corrective mechanism that reduces arbitrary outcomes and increases accountability. The second component addresses the protection of personal identifying information within eviction proceedings. The bill requires landlords to redact sensitive data from filings that may become publicly accessible, including things like social security numbers, financial account information, and other identifiers. In communities like House District 17, where many residents are already navigating economic vulnerability, exposure of that information can have devastating long-term consequences. This provision ensures that a housing dispute does not become a pathway to identity theft, financial exploitation, or further instability. At a statewide level, it aligns our housing practices with the basic expectation that personal data should be protected, not exposed. And we must be honest about who this impacts the most. This legislation explicitly acknowledges that barriers to credit building and wealth accumulation have not been experienced equally. In House District 17, that reality is visible. Communities of color, low-income households, and working-class families have historically been excluded from systems that reward financial behavior. This bill does not solve that entire problem, but it intervenes at a critical point when the housing system to begin correcting it. Statewide, it reflects a commitment to ensuring that opportunity is not reserved for those already positioned to access it. This is not a sweeping or abstract proposal. It is a measure, evidence-informed policy that establishes clear expectations. Transparency in how decisions are made, protection of personal information, access to mechanisms that support financial advancement. For the people I represent in House District 17, this means greater clarity, greater protection, and greater opportunity for the people of Colorado. It means a housing system that is more accountable, more transparent, more equitable, and more aligned with the values we claim to uphold. As both a legislator and an educator, I evaluate policy based on outcomes. Right now, too many renters are navigating a system that produces uncertainty, vulnerability, and limited opportunity. House Bill 261196 moves us toward a system that produces clarity, protection, transparency, and pathways forward. This is a good policy and it's responsible governance, and I ask respectfully for your yes vote.